Okay, great. So we're going to have Chuck take it away.
All righty, thank you, Jackie. So we are doing Facebook 201 today. I'm Chuck Westover, and I'm going to be taking you through a PowerPoint presentation here, and then we're going to have some time for question and answer afterwards. But let me make sure everyone sees this brief announcement that you see on your screen is definitely use the 1U hashtag when you're tweeting. We like to make sure that everyone realizes that that's the way that we can keep all of our union comments on Twitter in one stream, and it makes us better at organizing ourselves. So please use 1U when you're using Twitter. So that's the only thing we're going to say about Twitter. Back to Facebook now. You'll see my emails up here, cwestover@afscme.org. That's if anything comes up today that you want to contact me later about, that's the best way to do it, cwestover@afscme.org. So I would like to just, by way of introduction, let you know I'm at the American Federation of State, County, Municipal Employees, and that's the largest union in the AFL-CIO, and I've been there about 7 years. I'm the online mobilization coordinator, and that really do a lot of different things there, but email and website trainings, Facebook, all social media, text messaging, the whole ball of wax, and I've gone on the road to do some of these on-the-ground fights too, like the Wisconsin recall election and the Michigan right to work fight and the Ohio issue 2 fight. So I've got a little combination of the campaign fights that we've done, and also just the affiliate relations and making sure that our members and our affiliates are using the World Wide Web the best way they can. So with that, I want to show you that the objective today is to build off of what was learned in the Facebook 101 training that Jackie did and explore a few more advanced features of Facebook. And again, there will be time for questions at the end, and hopefully we'll be able to answer a lot of your questions, because this is getting a little more complex into what Facebook can do to help you build your union. So, quick look at the agenda. We're going to cover a lot of stuff. Some of it's going to be just a quick review of what Jackie did a few weeks ago, but we're going to go through just groups versus pages versus profiles, just so everyone understands the differences. Editing your links. We're going to do the reply feature, the question feature. We're going to talk about using photos properly, using @ tags, creating tabs, scheduling posts, targeting, integrating with websites, highlighting and pinning, stats, and your wall, and how to restrict certain things on your wall. Hopefully something on there is something you've never heard of, and you'll learn something today. I did want to find out, though, how many people on the call, before we really get into it, manage a page and are the admins of a page. So if everyone could click raise your hand in the upper left-hand corner of your screens, then we can see how many folks. Okay, good. Wow, that's what we were looking for, was a good high percentage of the people on this call were actual managers of a page. And by that I don't mean a profile, I do mean a page. So, because a lot of the stuff will be relevant to what you can do with an actual Facebook page. So, with that, let's move into this definition of a page and a profile. So, obviously a profile is your personal profile and should only be used for your personal use. And we'll go into some examples of why and how that's done wrong in a second. But pages are obviously more professional. They have promoted posts. You can do targeted posts. You can do insights, which are statistics. They have higher visibility. And then you have groups, which we're not going to be talking about today, but just know that there's 3 different types of groups. And one would be a closed group that allows for privacy, but someone needs to moderate the group. There's open groups, which is really what I tell folks is there's no real reason to go this route with an open group, because it doesn't have any of the functionality of a page, and yet there's no privacy either, and so you might as well be making a page. And then there's secret groups, which are unsearchable, and those are by invite only. So people use closed groups, people use secret groups, and people use pages, and those are all 3 different mediums. But just to make sure everyone's aware, today we're going to be talking about mainly pages and what you can. So the first thing, though, is because I see this a lot with our affiliates at AFSCME and a lot of our locals, is folks got either started before pages existed, way back when, or they just didn't realize they should have built a page when they built a personal profile for their union. So one of the best examples, and not to highlight anything bad that they've done, because they've actually done a great job with what they've got, is AFSCME created a personal profile, and they've been using that as their page. And they've actually got 3,400 friends, which is one of our best in all the union in terms of outreach to their membership. And so it's one of those things, it's a reminder to myself, I need to talk to them to get them to switch this to a page. But let me, by way of example, show you how they would do that. So they would go to Facebook's help section, which it's kind of hard to search for on their help section. You're looking for the words converting a profile to a page, but sometimes it's hard to come up. So I created a shortened URL for you. So you could just go to bit.ly/Chuck is the bit.ly link I created, and that will get you right onto the page that will show you how to do this, okay? And why would you want to switch? You know, Louisville might be sitting there saying, well, we got 3,400 fans or friends, so what's the need to switch? Well, there's a lot of reasons. And they quickly become obvious. Like, one, with the page, you have statistics that you can monitor. There's a more robust promoted posts and advertising features, which we're not going to get into on this call so much, but in future calls you'll learn about that. There's an enhanced admin panel, which you may or may not be aware of, that allows you to do a lot more things on Facebook. You targeted posts with the page. You can do, you get higher visibility in news feeds with the page. You can create tabs. You can, the organization titles can be easier for doing, for example, all capital letters. Like you might see if we jump back a second, AFSCME Louisville, it's lowercase, so it just doesn't look as nice because Facebook thinks that this is a normal human being and not an organization. So obviously when you create a page, you can have that AFSCME in all capital letters. Those are simple things, but it's really, you know, and heck, one thing that they're going to run into soon is that they have 3,400 friends, and they can't go any higher than 5,000 fans with a personal account. So they're going to need to switch eventually anyways. So anyhow, again, not bashing Louisville. They're doing a great job. I just want to use that as a great learning example right there. Of and this is that page I was talking about. If you use that bit.ly link I showed you, you'll land on here, and Facebook will walk you through all the steps on how to convert that personal profile to a page. And you might be asking, well, gosh, you know, am I gonna lose any of my information? Absolutely not. You know, all your confirmed friends and followers will be converted to people who like your new page. Your current profile picture will become your page's picture. Like, it will be, everything will pretty much switch over, and I don't believe you're going to lose any information. So anyhow, let's jump into some other Facebook 201 hints. And this might be simple to some, but it's a real key one that I don't think we went over in Facebook 101. And that's just simply editing the title and description in your links. So when you're posting something and you put a link in there like AFSCME.org, it will immediately pop up using that website's tags. It'll pop up the name of the website and a description based on what's already encoded in there. But you can go in and change that. And so one of the things I like to do is change the headline. Sometimes I might want to add, let's say, the word video at the front of a headline to make people clear that there's a video that they can watch behind this link. Or maybe I'd say breaking news to make it a little more exciting, or just alter the language just to make it a little more enticing for people to click on. Because as simple as it sounds, changing a few words around, either in your post or in your headline or in your description, can really make a difference in the interactions that you get. And so that's as simply done as clicking on the headline or clicking on the description as you these graphics right here. So another one is using the reply feature. And this is a new thing that Facebook rolled out within the last few months. And we have sort of not been using it at AFSCME, but we sort of have, in the sense that it's a good feature, and we haven't been using it to actually reply to many people because we get so much activity in our page that would be a little bit much if we started replying to every question that was asked right there on our page. But we do turn it on, and you can do that, again, under Edit Page and then Edit Settings. You can turn on, you'll see the little denotation right here that says Allow Replies to Comments on my page, and that allows your commenters to reply to one another. which I think can kind of tighten up the comment feed a little bit, because people aren't trying to respond to something that happened 3 or 4 comments. They can go right into that comment and reply to one another. And likewise, you could go in there and reply directly to someone's comment as the admin of your page. So I just threw up an example from one of my friends' pages here that I help them with. And it's a Medora documentary, a film, and people ask questions, and you can just go right in there. Like the woman asks, is this going to be coming to Jackson County, Indiana? And sure enough, you can reply right away to let them know what's going on. But again, this setting, you want to go into Edit Page and Edit Settings and make sure that Allow Replies to Comments on my page is checked off. And then it's up to you how you want to use it yourself as an admin. So the next thing to talk about is another feature that really doesn't get a lot of use, and we've only used it once in AFSCME, but it's a great feature. It's the question feature, and you might not even know it's there. Basically, when you're setting up a post, you would click on where it says Offer an Event. It doesn't even say question, so you might miss it, but that will give you a drop-down menu that you see right here that says Offer, Event, Milestone, and Question. And you want to click Question, and what that allows you to do is set up, and very simply, you get to put the question that you want in there, and you get to add the options for what the answers are. And then you also have a choice of whether you want to allow other people to add their own options, which I'll take you through an example real quick and show you the pitfalls of that or the pluses of that. But just know, like we did one in 2011, who gets your vote for Worst Governor of 2011, Worst Governor of the Year? Choose one of our options or add your own, and be sure to tell us why. And this was great. Back then, we only had, I think, about 10,000 fans, give or take a few. We had a much smaller page, yet this post had a reach of 50,000. And I'll get into what reach means at the end of this. We're going to go through some of the stats, but just know that this went really well for us. People really enjoyed not only voting on this and offering their own input as to who was the worst governor, but they also liked leaving their own comments and making up their own governors that we maybe didn't put in originally. So this is one of the most, I think, underutilized tools on your pages, and it, like I said, with such a small page that we had back then, this really gave us a boost, and it was so easy to set up. So again, that's the question feature. So let's talk now about properly sized photos. And this was a slide that Jackie used a couple weeks ago, but it's worth posting again because I think a lot of folks had some questions about it. And it's there's a lot of these good cheat sheets you can find online that tell you what size your photos should be on Facebook, depending on whether you're uploading a cover photo, a profile picture, or a timeline post. And as you can see, there's a variety of sizes that you need to be sizing your photos at so they fit properly and look the best when they're on your page. But just know there's you can Google for these, under Google Images to find these. But also there's one on Facebook itself, facebook.com/coverphotosize is where you can go to really find out. Because sometimes these things can change and whatnot. If you do go to this link here that Facebook has, then you'll see what the exact dimensions are that you need. And then you might be sitting there being, well, how do I change the size of a photo? And even if you don't have a lot of design skill or whatnot, there's a number of websites out there, like the one I put up here at the top, pixlr.com/express. You go to that website and you can upload your photo and mess with the size of it to get it at least close, without distorting it too badly, close to the size that you need to make sure that it looks good in Facebook. So that's, again, that's making sure you're using properly sized photos. Another one that Jackie touched on but is worth repeating again is, because I think some folks were confused about it, was using @ tags in your posts. And this is interesting because I think a lot of folks are doing this nowadays. They see something they really like on another page. And I know we've done this part of the AFSCME. You take that photo, you download the photo, and then you upload it yourself into your own page. And what that does is obviously it gives you the benefit of all the interaction that occurs, and it's as if it was your own photo. But it's right to tag and give credit to the folks that actually originally posted the photo or graphic, because then they at least get, one, they get the credit and the publicity for it, original idea, but also folks can click on their @ tag that you're going to put in your post, and they get fans to come and like their page from it. And so I think you kind of want to look at it as doing this not all the time, but some of the time. It's also nice to just share someone's photo too, because that's just playing good ball with all the unions. So I think it should be looked at as a two-way street, but let me show you some examples as how you should do this. So if you're going to take a photo like we did here with American Rights at Work and download it and then upload it as your own, you're going to want to definitely tag American Rights at Work, and you see it right here. It shows up as blue and it's clickable. And the way you do that, it's real simple. You've uploaded your photo, now you're writing your post, and you literally just say, you start typing in, and this is just like with the personal profile. You'll notice when you put in someone's name, it pops up that friend of yours name, and you can tag them in a post. Well, here with the organization that you want to tag, you simply just put in the @ symbol, and you start typing in the organization name, and Facebook will start searching for it. And as you can see here, when you start typing in the name of the organization, it pops up here as an option, and you just choose that option. And then American Rights at Work is not only given credit for their photo, but people can then find their page and like them as well. So again, I would recommend not doing it all the time, taking people's work and using it as your own, but some of the time it can be good, and always give them credit though. So let's talk about creating tabs now. And this I'll preface with saying that it's not the most crucial thing you can do on your page, because really it's the content you're posting and putting in your news feed that's going to get the most eyeballs. Most people don't go directly to your page, but it does happen, so you have to have the right proper stuff up there in your tab section. So anyhow, tabs are located, as you can see, right in here, the arrow is, and you can edit these and decide what shows up there on which row and which one's the most visible, and even do custom ones. So Photos is a default tab, so make sure you got some photos loaded into your page. You're always going to want to do that, and obviously from Facebook 101, you remember photos are the most clicked upon, shared, and Facebook's even changed their algorithm to make them larger and make sure that people see photos more than almost anything else on Facebook. So to add more tabs, though, you're going to want to click that arrow over right here. And that's going to allow you to add more tabs, and there's a series of tabs you can add. You'll see, like this is on the AFSCME page. When we come down here and hit this plus sign to add another tab, and you'll see we already have YouTube up here. We already have events, obviously. We had a Reddit button and polling place locator. So anyhow, you can choose all these. You can choose Twitter and Flickr and whatnot. But really, one of the interesting things is custom tabs, and we're not going to get in the weeds on this, but just know that you can create a custom tab, and one of the ones that we have right here is our Terms of Use tab, which even though it doesn't get a lot of eyeballs, it's good to have because you want to be able to point out to people that are maybe upset that they're getting blocked or their post got deleted or something like that. Their comment got deleted. So we do a Terms of Use tab. And we fill it with this information here to let folks know that what is allowed and what isn't allowed on the page. But in order to create this, you simply, for those that have a little HTML skill, then you can pretty much go into Facebook to this link right here, the apps.facebook.com/statichtml+, and you can create your own custom tab, and you'll see a drop-down menu of what page it is. If you monitor multiple pages, it'll ask you what page you want to create a tab on, and it'll start out as it'll just say Welcome tab, and you can go in there and then edit that. And again, you need a little bit of HTML skill just to make sure that your post looks good, like that Terms of Use did right there. That didn't take too much, but we do have some bullets in there and whatnot. But just know that that's something you can do on Facebook as well. So we are now going to move into targeting posts, and the caveat here is that you can only target a post if you have more than 5,000 fans. So that might cut out a lot of you or most of you, but hopefully one day you hit 5,000 fans or Facebook changes that rule. But just know that when you have more than 5,000 fans, you can target your posts based on gender, relationship status, educational status, age, location, language. The most common ones that we do at AFSCME are we do state-based targeting. So we'll choose everyone that's in the state of Wisconsin or something, we'll make sure that we only hit them with a certain post. We'll often do multiple cities. When we were at Weir, Wisconsin, for example, let's say we just wanted to promote an event to the La Crosse area, so we would choose, La Crosse, Wisconsin, and then you can choose multiple cities within there so that you hit all those cities and only those people see your post. And then we have a Next Wave program, which is only people under the age of 35. And so you can mess with the age feature there on Facebook and only hit younger people, for example. And then obviously gender is a good one too for anything you're doing that's like women specific. Like we have a women's conference every year. So just know there's a few ways to use this targeting. I think location is the key one to use for most of you, but just know it is there. And it's easily found by clicking on that, what actually looks like a target up here when you're making it. You won't even see that unless you have 5,000 or more fans. So don't go looking for it and be wondering where it is. So now let's talk about scheduling posts. This is another thing that, it's a stylistic thing whether you want to do this or not. You definitely got to be confident about the post that you're putting up, that you want it to go live when you say it is, but just know this is the way you do it. You go in there to your post, you'll see like what looks like a clock right here. You click that, it will put up a time, and you get to choose year, month, day, time of the post and everything, and then you're just going to click schedule, and that's going to take you to the next pop-up, which is going to tell you that, okay, here your post is going to be published at this time, and you click in and go to this thing called the activity log at that point. And that's where, if you want to, you can see all your scheduled posts and everything and your other activity below that. But you could change the time of the post, you could delete it if you wanted to, or you could publish it right then and there if you wanted to. So it's real good for if you wanted a post to go up over the weekend, but you knew you're going to be running around at the barbecue or whatever, so you can set that post to go up, and it'll go up and it'll be live, and you don't have to do anything about it. Now, the one thing that's kind of annoying is that you can't, as far as I can tell, edit the post once it's up there in the scheduled post. So I believe if you actually wanted to change your post, you would have to delete it and then do it again and reschedule it, which is kind of annoying, but just know that I believe that's the case with Facebook. But Facebook's pretty good at changing things for the better and for the worse, so maybe that will eventually get edited. Again, though, also to note about scheduling posts, the way that we got into this one here was scheduling the post and then clicking that pop-up button. But you can get in anytime by going to Edit Page up at the top and selecting Use Activity Log, and that's where you'll see your scheduled posts. So you can go in there anytime to see your activity log that way. Next thing we want to go over is restricting what goes on your wall. And this is kind of a good one to, and I'll show you what AFSCME does, and you guys can make a decision as your own organization how you do it. But the way you can get in there to change these settings that I'm about to tell you about is you go to Edit Page and you go to Edit Settings, and we like to encourage as much engagement as possible with our page, but we also don't want to lose total control of our page. So what we do is we set to restrict what goes on our wall publicly, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here is the list of things you can do under Edit Settings. And as you can see, the way we have it set is we make it so everyone has the ability to post to our timeline, but that those posts don't go up on our wall. They're hidden, in fact. We can see them, but they're not public. We do let people, because you want to keep the things that show up on your wall, you want to be the things that you post. But we let people tag photos, and we do have a message button to let people message us. So we allow for those interactive abilities. And then obviously, as I referred to before, we allow replies to comments on our page. And so I think that's a good feature. It allows, I think it tightens up your comment streams so that conversations can occur within the comment stream. So that just know that, again, this is Edit Page and then Edit Settings is how you get to this point. And here's a blow-up of what I was just showing you, just in case you couldn't see it on the other screen. Again, we select everyone can post on AFSCME's timeline, but then we also do the visibility is hidden from page. so that folks can't exactly see everything that gets posted by just anyone. You never know what might go up there, and you want to be able to obviously control the message a little bit. And again, this is just the full page, edit page, and edit settings. So next thing to talk about here is integrating with your website, and I think this is a key thing that everyone should be doing, because with all this talk of Facebook that we're doing today, you almost forget that, yes, websites exist and they're still important and the hub of all your communication that you do. So what we think, it should be very easy for folks who visit your website to find your Facebook page, number one, and it should be very easy for anyone that visits your website to then share any of that content on their own personal Facebook pages. So there's a couple easy things you can do, and again, this takes a little bit of HTML skill, obviously, when whatever content management system you use for your website, you're going to want to take some of this information here and use it in your content management system. But let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. Is you'd go to Edit Page, Edit Settings, and then Resources, and then on Use Social Plugins. So I'll take you through that again real quick. It's Edit Settings, and then, again, Edit Page, Edit Settings, and then over here on the left side you've got Resources, and then you click on Use Social Plugins here. And that's going to get you to a page I'm just about to show you now, but you can grab any code on this page to create these widgets that you can then embed on your website or blog that will display the status updates of your Facebook page. You can do thumbnails, likers, the people that like your page. You can do the basic like button as you saw back here on AFSCME's page. You just simply click there and you automatically like AFSCME's Facebook page. So anyhow, these are the things it's got on here. A series of things you can do. Like button, that's obvious. The like button lets users share pages from your site back to their Facebook profile with one simple click. You got a send button, which allows your users to easily send your content to their friends as a message. You've got a follow button, which is also called subscribe, which allows people to subscribe to your page. You've got a comment button that allows users to comment on any piece of content on your site. And there's a share dialog that lets users add a comment and customize the title and thumbnail of the link that they share, which is, you've used those before, that allow people to share whatever you're doing with their own language on there. An activity feed allows users to see what their friends are doing on your site through likes and comments. A recommendations box, which allows folks to recommend your site. All these things are on this one portal in Facebook. You got the like box again. This one enables users to like the page. That's what I showed you on AFSCME's page there. A login button, a registration button. All these things are listed there. You can go in and check them all out, but they're really useful, and they're perfect for making sure that everything you're putting up on your website is shareable, because that's obviously how you get more eyeballs on everything you do. A couple other tips about Facebook that might sound, they're not game changers, but they're worth knowing about, because anyone, again, most people are going to see your stuff because of your news feed. They're not going to see it by coming to your page. But here's two things, highlighting and pinning, that you can do to make sure the things that are on your page do get viewed more than others when someone does land on your page. And so highlighting a post, real simple to do, when you put, and you can do this after the fact. So after you posted something, you simply go up here to this star and you click that, and that means your post is going to be highlighted, and so it's going to expand to the width of your page. It's also going to show up prominently whenever you go look back at your timeline. It will make sure that that's one of the most prominent posts for that month, for example. So here's the way it would look once you highlight it. It obviously widens and goes to the length of the page, and so again, it makes things show up, and it's great for photos and videos as well, because those should be even larger and displayed more prominently. And so this is the one we did just yesterday with the Equal Pay Act, and so we highlighted that because it's a nice wide photo to begin with. So pinning your posts is another thing that folks should be aware about. It's this is, if you've got an article you really like we have anything we post about Scott Walker seems to do real well, because we've got so many Wisconsin fans on our page. And again, I'll show you insights in a moment where you can figure out where your fans live. But the point is these Wisconsin posts do real well, so we like to pin them to the top of our page because they're so popular, and it gets even more views that way. And again, after you post something, you go up here to this what looks like a pencil, and you click pin to the top, and what that does is it makes that post stay in the top left corner of your page for about 7 days, and then it'll drop back down to where it should be in chronological order on your page. So again, it allows your post to stay up there for 7 days, provides better visibility, and then automatically falls off, and that's called pinning your posts. So 2 things, highlighting and pinning, that I recommend. They're basic, they're simple, but it's doing your due diligence to make sure your stuff gets seen by the most people. So the insights, I've mentioned this a few times leading up to this, and so I wanted to put it at the end to make sure we could delve into it just a little bit, because there is a lot in there. And let's start with just the name. It should be called stats because that's what most people know it for, but it's under View Insights on your page, and the way that you get there is you go to Edit Page again, which I've mentioned a couple times, so that's a very important tab. So you go to Edit Page and you go to View Insights right down here. And it's confusing, but you should really check them out because they can inform you how your page is doing week to week, what is working, what is not. It also can be a great way to translate information to folks in your organization who may not realize how many people you're actually reaching with some of your posts. People like, for example, if there's someone that's not on Facebook, doesn't understand the reach of Facebook perhaps, and you need to explain to them how great things are going with the work that you're doing on your Facebook page. If this sounds familiar to anyone, this is a great way to use some of these statistics to show them. So, for example, here's just the first page, and this is AFSCME stats right here. We're not doing as well this month. It's kind of dropping, but look at the big numbers you're able to kind of throw out at people. So obviously we have 66,000 likes, and this then translates into 19 million friends of fans, which is a great number to throw out there, that basically you have access to that many people potentially. Talking about this is I'm going to go through these to make sure you get the definitions, but for example, let's look at this like right here. We got talking about this is when people, it's the number of unique people who have created a story about your page. And so by created a story, what they mean is that's when someone likes your page, posts to your page, likes or comments or shares one of your page posts, answers a question you posted, responds to your event. Basically any interaction that they've done in which they've created a story off of something you posted is the way Facebook. That's called people talking about this. So that's a pretty cool metric to look at. And then even better, though, is reach, when you really want to figure out how many people actually saw this. So it's the number of unique people who have seen any content associated with your page. So that's the reach. So those are the stats that you can see on the first, when you first click into Insights. Now, there's a couple others that are worth looking at too. And please take note that you can also, going back 2 slides, you can also export anything that's on here. Any of this data is exportable into an Excel file, and you can change the dates that you're looking at. Right now, the default, I think, takes you back to like May 14th, so about a month. But you can change that to 6 months. I think 180 days is the most you can change it back to if you really wanted to change these graphs and look at that in detail. So anyhow, here's another really good one. This down below, as you scroll down your Insights page, you're going to see a series of all your posts. And this is really cool because it allows you to go through and look at everything you've done in the past. And it allows you to then figure out exactly what worked, what didn't, what the numbers were. You can click on these columns up here and figure out the rankings. It will automatically rank these things in terms of, what the reach was, which I already explained, what the engaged users were, and that's simply the number of unique people who have clicked on your post. And then virality is a cool metric here because that's the percentage of people who have created a story from your page out of the unique people who have seen it. So it's basically the people that were talking about this, as we explained before, versus the total number of people that saw it with the reach. So yeah, that's your virality percentage. So it's really cool to go through and look at those things. And in addition just to seeing the numbers, it's also a good way to, if you forgot about a post you did and you wanted to use that same language that got approved and was good language, you can go back and find your posts here and literally pop them open, clicking on them, and copy and paste something so that you have the exact same language instead of scrolling through your timeline and trying to find when exactly that post went up. So it's a good way and you can also filter it by what type of post too, so you can see how your photos are performing versus your links. But anyhow, Insights is really a key to getting in there and figuring out what's working on your page and what isn't. Another thing that is very helpful for yourself and also good statistics for those in your organization that might be interested is this page here, which is when you click on the Like tab up here. Everything we were looking at, Overview tab. But if you click on Like, then you're going to see who the people are that like your page. And this is really cool because you get to see how old they are. And this is for, like for example, AFSCME, 55% of our fans are over the age of 45. And that's really interesting for debunking the myth that this is only something that the young people are on or anything like that. You can really show statistically that who it is that's on your page. And then this is key here, the cities, who it is, where they're from. And so we know that posts to Wisconsin, because Milwaukee and Madison are in our top cities, are going to do really well. We know that New York posts are going to do well, things about Chicago, and so on. It's really key for just knowing who your fans are. And then another one right here is really interesting. Our fans are 60% female almost. So we know that anything geared towards our women members or any issues geared towards women are probably going to do better as well. So it really helps you learn your page and be able to explain it to others. So with that, I think we're at about 40 minutes almost. So I don't want to go on too long, and we've finished all of our slides. So I guess just one final thought would be that really you've got to learn your page, and what works is exactly what's getting likes and what's getting clicks and what's getting shares. So after you post something, don't just move on and move to the next post. Always be studying how it did and coming up with your own theories of why it did well and why it did not do well, so that you can come even better on your next post and obviously use the information. That's the great thing about the internet is everything is measurable, and so use these tools to make your page even better. So I guess, Jackie, we'll open it up to questions now, and we'll try and answer as many of them as we can.
All right, if you have a question, same drill as last time. Okay, one thing I want to stress before everyone starts asking their questions is Chuck's slides and the video of his presentation will be available on the AFL-CIO digital training website. So all questions about that you can cut off right now. We just know that those are available, and those are going to be ready hopefully within the next few days. So there you go. All right, everyone can start asking their questions now. Looks like we're getting a few, so I guess we'll start with Molly.
Oh, okay, likes and yeah, I kind of failed to explain that well. So let me just back up real fast into that slide, and I think that's probably the easiest way to show you. So under Insights, know that when you click on Insights, and actually let's just go in right now and I'll show you. I think I was in here. No, let's see. I'll go to my Facebook. I think it's open right there.
Okay, great.
Yep. Okay, so let me go to Insights here. If I go to AFSCME's page right here, /AFSCME, and I'm an admin of AFSCME, so I go in there and I go to Edit Page on my admin panel here, and I go to View. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to go down here. I've already told you the wrong thing. Right here, I go to View Insights, right down here under Settings there. And now I'm on View Insights. And so what I can do is, this is the overview page that I was just showing you. You can click on the Likes tab up here, and it'll start showing you that Likes page right there. And sorry, I think our internet's moving a little bit slow. But that's the Likes page where it shows everyone that likes your page. And we didn't even go into reach and talking about this, but we explained what those were. But let me go click back to overview, and you can see that this is also where you can see this data that I explained, but also scrolling down here when it's loading right now is the post data of your individual posts. So just know that that it's View Insights, and again I'll go back so you see where that is. I think I may or may not have told you incorrect information when I said it's not actually under Edit Page. A lot of stuff is, but this View Insights is actually down here under this tab, which is right down near your actual tabs. And you click here and do View Insights. So let's see. So let's go and look and see if there's more questions. That was Molly you just handled, right?
Okay, and then we have a question from Susan. Can multiple people admin a web page? Do you mean a Facebook page, Susan?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, that's a good question, and the answer is definitely yes. In fact, I think we have a lot of people adminning our AFSCME page right here, and I'll show you. Oops, what I did.
We do it in the Firefox.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, we've got a lot of browsers open here. So anyhow, if I go into, I believe it's under Admin Panel, and then I do Edit Page, and I go. So yeah, under Edit Page and Manage Admin Roles, you pop in here and look at, we've got all these managers of our page. And so the way to create a new one is real simple. You just type a name or email in here, and you can add them as a manager. Now, I believe, because I just ran into this problem the other day, they have to already like your page, and I believe you have to be friends with them on Facebook, meaning your personal page.
And you can't be logged in as the page. You have to make sure you're logged in as an individual. I've had this problem recently.
That's another good point. So those three things I think are true then is, one, you have to be logged in as your individual person and not as AFSCME, and you have to be the person that you're trying to add as an admin has to already like your page, and I believe you have to be friends with them with your personal pages, which all kind of makes sense that you would give control like that to someone that you were friends with on Facebook. And so anyhow, let me jump back in and see if there's another question. So pull one of these over. I've seen a like box on a website that immediately offers the user the ability to share that page after clicking like. Is that a standard option on the resources page? Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, meaning if you go to that resources page, and let me try and get back into it real quick. I think it's under edit page it was, and then edit settings, and then resources over here, and then social plugins. So again, that was edit page, edit settings, resources, social plugins. It's in the PowerPoint, but when you get in there, you want the like button lets users share pages from your site back to their profile, and then the like box down here enables your Facebook page to and people to like your Facebook page right there. And these things will give you, like if you click here, you get in here. Now I don't want to get too in the weeds, but this allows you to start getting in and getting the HTML you need to then place on your website. But it's definitely, to answer your question, is yes, it's one of the standard options under resources, and that's where you can go to get the HTML that you're going to need to create that like box on your page. All right, so let's move to my coworker is getting our Facebook Insights. Okay, even though I've changed the email address, how do I change who gets the email notifications on the Insights? Ooh, that's a good question, and we might just have to try and figure it out on the fly. Let me see. So let me go to facebook.com/AFSCME, and I'm going to go into the Insights and see if this is an easy thing to find. Bear with me a moment. And we're trying to change who gets these notifications. So if we go, again, to get to Insights, it was down here. It was View Insights. Let's see, maybe under here, Visit Help. Well, you definitely have the Help Center, and you can ask right here. I won't go through that right now, but so you've got that possibility.
Manage notifications under edit page.
Okay, let me go back to edit page. Let me try that. So manage notifications. That might send to people. So that's for when people post.
View all email settings.
Oh, where's that? So I did view all email settings. And but it seems like we're on the right path. I think again we won't belabor it, but like I think if you go to the help settings and ask there, and then that's worth, you know what, we could maybe figure that out and put it into the PowerPoint before we load it online, because that's a good question. I don't know how to do that, and you're right, that's a very key thing to have, is because when someone leaves your organization, you certainly don't want them having all the access to all the information in there.
Yeah. I mean, I think if the person doesn't want the notifications anymore, this is Jackie, they should just be able to, in their own personal settings, turn off email notifications. If that person is no longer a member of your organization, then you should remove them as a manager from your Facebook page, and someone should have the original managing accounts. You can remove people.
Yeah, I gotta believe if you remove them as an admin, it'll cut that off. So that would be step one. And again, removing them an admin, I believe, is pretty easy. Let's just check that real fast. I think if you just go into Manage Admin Settings, then it should be Manage Admin Roles, and then you can delete. I think just Xing out of someone will knock them out as a manager. So just know that it's that easy. I'm almost certain. Try it right now. Yeah, that removes someone as a manager. Just clicking that X. And I'll make sure I add Oliver again when I get back to the office.
You can also change what type of manager they are. They can be a content creator, moderator, an advertiser, or insight analyst. So you can give them a different role, because the manager gives them multiple.
Jackie's exactly right. There's content creator, moderator, advertiser, and insights analyst. So it sounds like managers get the most control over things, and they can do pretty much everything. Okay, so that answers that question. Let's see. We have one up here that says, is there a way to tag individual people in posts as a page? I don't believe you can do that. Let me just give it a shot real quick. So I think I'd go to like a photo on AFSCME's page, and let's see. So if I go to AFSCME's page and I click on a photo, let's say I want to tag someone in this strike picture, tag photo, let me see it, but it's probably, I'd be tagging as Chuck Westover, I think. Tag as AFSCME. So yeah, I was able to tag, but I don't know if that was tagged as, no, okay, I think I can. I think you can tag as an organization. So I went in as AFSCME and tagged AFSCME as this woman right here. Obviously, I'll remove that, but I believe you can do that. In fact, I'll try and tag.
If you have to about tagging on a status update on the wall, then, like right now I'm trying Randy Weingarten.
Let's try that then. So on a status update, whether you can. Oh, okay, that would be different then. You're right.
I'm just getting page options when I do it on a status.
Yep, and that would be on a post. What Jackie's saying is she doesn't believe you can go in there on a new post and actually try to do like and then put someone's name in.
Unless they have a page as a public figure, a fan page.
Right. So if you were just looking for Jackie Totora, I don't think.
These are all likes that they give you.
Yeah, there's no way to do that with an individual, only with pages on the tagging. But good question though. These are all really good, and it's always kind of amazing what you don't already know about Facebook. I think Facebook updated since the presentation was made, but is the Insight section you got through Edit Page Insights the same as clicking on See All on the admin panel? Well, I think I goofed up first of all when I was trying to explain where it was. Oh, you can click right onto the Insights tab. There you go. That's another good tip right there. You go right to the Insights tab there instead of going down to where I did down here, and you click right there, and you are in the Insights tab. Very good. Thank you. Let's see. We've got Patty Boy says, how can we make our pages more dynamic and different looking from the standard? Gosh, well, I think with one of the key things is your cover photo. You know, if you're talking about the look of your page, and again, most people are hitting you from your news feed and they're not coming right to your page, but for those that do, I think a nice, compelling cover photo can be the first thing they'll see, the largest thing they'll see. I think some of the things we talked about today, making sure your most interesting posts are at the top because you pin them. Your photos, maybe if you got a really good photo post down here, you highlight it so that it goes across the whole page, like this Equal Pay Act one we did the other day. I think maybe looking at your tabs here, or your tabs you can create, making sure these are photos and interesting things. Maybe your YouTube page, if you have one, you can put it up here. I think, let's see, when we look at the ones we have a few of those down there. But in general, like making it more dynamic, just good content and putting things out there that get lots of likes. So monitoring what does and doesn't work. If you're posting on issues and it's not working and people aren't liking it or they're finding it boring, then maybe you try and sprinkle that in as rarely as possible and go with the stuff that is getting a lot of traction. I think that'll make things dynamic. Obviously, spending money and promoting some of your posts, which we didn't get into today, that would that increase traffic to your site. But yeah, and I think we always try to use we call it like 60-40 or 80-20 rule, depending on how you look at it, where like you're putting out maybe 60% solid policy type stuff, information that people can digest and read and everything, and then maybe 40% a little more humor, a little more perhaps something that makes people laugh, share, maybe a funny video. So you want to mix it up a little, I think, to get people's attention. It can't always be one tone or one direction that you're driving people in. Let's see. So good question though. Let's see. We've got Kieran McCarney says, "Is there a way to tag individual?" Oh, I think I already had that one. Let's see. How would we put a link to the Facebook page on our salsa messages? Okay. Well, that's pretty simple. You would you simply go and grab the web address of your page, and ours is facebook.com/AFSCME. So it's as simple as copying that URL, and you can put it in an email if you want to link to it and say, please like us on Facebook right here. We in our salsa emails for AFSCME, at the bottom of our emails, we always have our Facebook page button down there that links to our page. We have our Twitter button, and then we have a donate button so you can give to our political PAC. So that's definitely it's just like any other link, and you can make sure that it's in all your salsa emails. And salsa does have some social sharing features in it now, so you can, for any action page that you create, you can definitely go in and have a Facebook share button and a Twitter share button, even a Google Plus share button on there for sharing from any salsa page. So good question, and the answer is definitely yes. So no, you can't tag people on post. Yep, that's what Danielle Hatchett reminding us that is true. Sorry, we're getting these a little out of order. Only in comments, and they have to be fans. Okay. Danielle coming in with all the answers. Danielle. We should have had Danielle in the room with us. Used to be able to, but you can't anymore because people felt they were getting... Okay, so we're getting all the... Yep, there we go. I think you're right. Can I place an ad that shows up on an individual Facebook page that targets occupations, zip codes, and regions? Yeah, I think... You can, ads are now really dynamic in the ways that you can target these ads.
We're scheduled training.
Yeah, and Jackie's going to be doing a training just
Actually, AFT, we're going to say. Yeah, AFT, it's either AFT or CWA will be doing a really great training on ads and targeting and really advanced. But that's a great question, and that's something that you should sign up for on AFLCIO.org/digital training. You can find that there.
Yeah, and that'll be a great one to watch in on. Facebook has made it so that anyone can do it. Get in there and target your ads, but it's definitely find out what you're doing before you do it by tuning into that training. That'll be a good one. Is there a way to make Is there a way to link a phone number to a post so that people can make action calls? Well, sort of. You can definitely put in a phone number in a post that people can call. That's obvious. and we do that a lot. We work with a company called Revolution Messaging, where we can create 800 numbers that link up to a person can put in their zip code. Once they call the 800 number, they hear a message from us about whatever the issue is we're looking for them to take action on, and then they can enter their zip code to be connected directly to either their state rep, state senator, or their congressman. So that's certainly possible. And then in addition to that, in a post, we also oftentimes will create these things using Revolution Messaging and Salsa, where we create click-to-call pages, which are pages where someone can land on them. You could post it on Facebook. People land on them. We just did one to Florida the other day. Maybe I'll just slide down and try and find it to show you a live example. We targeted it just to Florida, and it was here it is. So this was targeted just to Florida. You can see it says right up there. Every day, thousands of workers face this terrible choice of whether to lose pay or – so this is all about sick leave, and you can click on this page right here in this Facebook post, and you'll land on a Salsa page. It's taken a little while to open up. But on this Salsa page, what you're going to see is you can enter your cell phone number right here. That would literally your phone would get a call right away once you hit click to call, and your phone would ring, and you just pick it up, and you immediately start hearing our talking points about the issue, and then it'll ask you for your zip code, and you get connected to, well, in this case, it was Rick Scott, so anyone in Florida would get connected to Rick Scott and yell at him about House Bill 655. So, yes, to answer your question, it's definitely, you can do that, but it's obviously for a small organization, it might be a little more difficult because it costs money to contract out Revolution Messaging, and if you don't have Salsa. So just know that that the possibility is out there for sure. All right, I think we is that all, Jackie?
Looks like it. If you have a question, we have about 3 minutes, so speak now or forever hold your peace. Also, Chuck has graciously offered to answer your questions via email. If you want to give that.
Yeah, again, if you missed it, it's C Westover, and that's CWESTOVER at AFSCME.org. If you want to email me, I'll try and get back to you as quickly as I can and answer any additional questions you have.
All right, well, I just wanted to thank everyone for joining this training. We hope you guys learned a lot. You'll soon be receiving an email so you guys can take a survey and also get a little closer to your certification. And you'll also be able to access the video and the slides from this presentation. So thank you very much and have a great day.